Welcome. Today we will discuss about validity analysis. Validity analysis play a major role in order to analyze the data that we have collected from our respondent in order to analyze the data and interpret in our article or thesis. So moreover, we will also discuss validity analysis. How do we analyze in Smart PLS3 software? In this session, we will cover what is validity analysis. We conceptualize the term validity analysis. What are the types of validity analysis? We will discuss the various types of validity analysis. And most importantly, we will perform validity analysis demonstration in Smart PLS3. Before proceeding further, if you do not like and subscribe the channel, please like and subscribe. Press on bell icon for more exciting videos on Smart PLS3. So at first we will discuss about what is validity analysis. The term validity is defined as an account is valid or true if it represents accurately those features of the phenomena that it is intended to desire, explain, or theorize. So in other words, we can say that validity is an extent to which the researcher findings accurately represent what is really happening in the situation. So we are having multiple methods to analyze validity analysis. So here there are two basic type of validity analysis. The first one is convergent validity and the second one is discriminant validity. Convergent validity can be performed with the help of AVE, which is basically average variance extracted. The threshold limit of AVE must be the values of the variable must be greater than or even equal to 0.50. I have discussed AVE, how to perform AVE, what is the conceptualization of AVE in a separate video. I will attach the link in the description of this video. You can watch there. So today we will discuss about discriminant validity. Discriminant validity is having three basic types. The first one is Fornell-Locker criteria, which ranging between 0 to 1. The second one is heterotrait monotrait values, which is HT-MT ratio. So the value of HT-MT must be less than 0.50. In some cases we can say that the values must be less than 0.90. The third most important analysis of discriminant validity is cross-loading analysis, and the threshold limit, or we can say that item must load to respective variable. So how do we perform these various discriminant validity analysis with the help of Smart PLS3? We need to follow some steps. So at first in Smart PLS, we are going to develop the desired research model, and then we need to click on calculate tab, select PLS algorithm, click start calculation. So there seems a result dialog box will be open. So in the result window, in order to measure average variance expected, we need to click on construct reliability and validity. And in case of discriminant validity, just click on discriminant validity for Fornell-Locker, HT-MT and cross-loading criteria. And finally, we need to follow the instruction. Follow the instruction to copy and reporting the results in our Word document. So before further proceeding, we need to understand the concept of discriminant validity analysis. So the first type is Fornell-Locker criteria. Fornell-Locker criterion is one of the most important discriminant validity measurement method. According to Fornell-Locker criteria, the square root of average variance expected of each factor should be greater or larger than the correlation coefficient between the factor in question and other factors. So the second analysis of convergent validity Discriminant validity is cross-loading analysis. Cross-loading, as its name implies, can be determined if an item belongs to a particular construct and loads strongly on another construct measured in the study. Discriminant validity is established when the diagonal loading are significantly greater than the off-diagonal loading in the corresponding rows and column. The third important concept of validity analysis is HTMT ratio. So basically, it is an estimate of the correlation between the construct. It refers to as a new criterion for assessing the discriminant validity in variance-based structure equation modeling. So in order to test the discriminant validity, HTMT value of effect should be less than 0.85 and confidence interval up should be less than 1, subject to a reflective model. So after conceptualization, the multiple terms utilized in discriminant validity analysis, we will go to demonstrate smart PLS. How do we perform the analysis? So have a look. So here we are. This is basically the window of smart PLS. At first we are going to develop our research model. For example, we are having 4 variables. So this one is our first variable, which is having 9 items. For example, this one is leadership, which is our independent variable. So this one is our second variable. Training and development. So we are having another variable. Which is career development. And we are having 1 and 2 dependent variable, which is team performance. So these are our 4 variable. So basically in this model we are having 1 into independent variable, which is leadership, 1 into dependent variable, which is team performance, and we are having 2 mediator variable like training and development and career development. So we are going to connect these variable. At first so here we are. Now it's look very pleasant. So the next step is, in order to measure the discriminant validity, we are going to click on calculate, click on PLS algorithm, click on start calculation. So we are having the path coefficient or results window. You can see that. So in order to analyze the discriminant or convergent validity, at first we look at the outer loading of the items. So here we are. These are basically the item loading of the items. Training and development items are okay because these values are greater than 0.60. ERL5 and ERL6 is having values less than 0.60. In this case, these values are greater than 0.60, and in this case we can see that ETL4 and ETL1 is having less than values of, which is basically less than 0.60. We can also see from the results, which is outer loading. So it shows more clearly. ETL5 ETL6, ERL5 and ERL6, ETL1, and we can see that ETL4. So we need to remove these 4 items in order to proceed further. So at first we are going to delete these items. The rule is we need to delete these items step by step, but for now I am going to delete these items collectively. Just right click into it and delete them. Rearrange the items. This one is bottom. Again click on calculate PLS algorithm, start calculation. Now we can see that all the items outer loading are greater than 0.60. Yes, these are okay, these are also okay, all the items are okay. So the next step is we will analyze construct reliability and validity. Yes, these values Cron-Batch alpha, composite reliability and even convergent validity AVE, these values are also greater than 0.50. So in this case we are also establishing reliability analysis with the help of AVE. So how do we perform discriminant validity? So the next we can see that the next step is discriminant validity. Just click into it. So in here we can see that we are having, these are our variables. You can see that this one is formal and local criteria, this one is cross loading, and this one is HTMT ratio. These are the values of formal local criteria. This tab shows the cross loading analysis and this shows HTMT ratio. So the next step is we need to copy and paste these values into our Word document. Before this we will analyze and see the values, either these values are lies within the acceptable limit or not. So in the case of formal and local criteria, we can see that all the values of first variable must be greater than rest of the variables. So in this case we can see that the value of carrier development is 0.833. It is greater than this value. Yes, it also greater than training and development, but in this case team performance, the value of carrier development is less than. If you can see that the second column, so the value is almost equal to rest of the values are even greater than the values. This one is also 0.827 is greater than 0.58. So in this case we can say that we have established formal and local criteria if we adjust this value. If we can see the heterotrait and monotrait value, so the threshold limit is the values must be less than 0.85 or in some cases 0.90. We can see that this value is less than 0.85. This one is also less than 0.662 and 0.704 is also less than 0.85 or even 0.90. The value of leadership is 0.88, which is greater than 0.85, however less than 0.90. So we may retain this value, but in the value of team performance we can see that this value is far greater than 0.85 or 0.90. So we need to recheck our data analysis. So before further analysis we click on cross loading. So we can see that we are going to analyze the variable items, either these items are loaded properly to the respective variable or not. What does it mean? Basically we are going to analyze the items of the variable. At first we are going to look at the variable. So the first variable is leadership, and leadership items are ERL1 up to ERL9. So in this table we can see that these are the ERL1 up to ERL9 are the items of leadership. So we can see that ERL1 the value is 0.75. So the rule of cross loading is that this value must be greater than rest of the items. We can see that it loads to carrier development up to 0.50, which is less than 0.75. It also load to team performance with 0.17, which is also less than, and 0.533 with respect to training and development, which is also less than. To it, the item which is load to its respective variable, which is 0.70. So this we can say that we have established cross-loading analysis and with respect to the first item of leadership. This one is also okay. 3, 4, 7, 8. So these values are greater than the rest of the items, so they establishing cross-loading. If we can see that ERL9, so the value which represents in leadership domain, which is 0.672, although it's greater than career development values, team performance value, however you can see that training and development values, so it less than actually training and development. So what should we do? Basically we are going to, because the items of ERL9, which is leadership item, loads to training and development, so we are going to delete this item which is ERL9. So in this case we are going to delete ERL9 and reanalyze the table. So now we can see that discriminant validity. Cross-loading. So the second, we are going to analyze the variable items of career development. So these three items are pertinent to career development. 0.869 greater than rest of the values, 0.807 also greater than, 0.821 also greater than rest of the values. So these are the values pertinent to our dependent variable, which is team performance. So here we are, team performance. So PC1 value greater than rest of the values, yes. 0.839 also greater than rest of the values, 0.87 and 0.772 are greater than these rest of the values. So we are establishing cross-loading in terms of team performance. So the last variable is training and development. The first item TML1 is having the value 0.908, which is greater than rest of the values. TML2 0.894, TML3 0.906 and TML4 0.825. So these three values are also greater than the rest of the values. So in this case we are also stated as we are establishing cross-loading analysis in terms of reliability analysis in terms of cross-loading. So this is how we are going to analyze discriminant validity with the help of Fornal-Locker criteria, cross-loading and HTMT ratio. So the next step is to copy these multiple tables into our Word document in order to complete the analysis portion. So the next step is click on Excel format, open Excel file, just paste there like this. Just put the border to the table, copy the table and then open Word document, which is this one is Fornal and Locker criteria. Just paste there. Remove the extra column and rows. This one, also this one. Select the whole table and at first remove the border of the table and then top border, bottom border, and then click on border again. So this is how we can copy and paste the table of Fornell and Locker criteria into our Word document. And similarly, we can also copy and paste rest of the table. For example, cross-loading. Click on Excel format, paste into Excel like this, put the border and then copy it. Open Word document like this. We are going to cross-loading analysis table. Just paste there. Remove the border and then put the top border to the respective table like this. At first top border and then bottom border. Similarly, put the bottom border at the lowest level. So this is how we can copy and paste the table of cross-loading analysis. So similarly, we are able to copy and paste the table of HTMP ratio. So the next step is that we need to put the theory of that particular table. So for example, we are going to discuss in Fornell and Locker criteria. So in this table, so the results showed that Fornell and Locker criterion of the model establishing discriminant validity because the values are lies within the acceptable limit. Thus we establish, thus this study establish discriminant validity. So this is how we are going to interpret the table of Fornell and Locker criteria. So in this lecture we will discuss the conceptualization of discriminant validity and its three types like Fornell and Locker criteria, HTMP ratio and cross-loading analysis. How do we perform in Smart PLS3 and how do we interpret the table with respect to threshold limit. Thank you very much.